Trump says he is dissatisfied with the latest proposal from Iran, which is actually about simultaneously lifting the blockade. So this would mean that on Friday, late afternoon, on the 60th day of this illegal war, Trump wants to continue crashing the world economy. Trump wants to continue making life very difficult for American citizens. Over $50 billion have been spent on this war. America provides a tremendous amount of subsidies to the genocidal state of Israel. Our taxpayer money goes to subsidize the well-being of Israeli citizens. Our taxpayer money goes to arm this right-wing extremist genocidal Israeli government. Our taxpayer money buys and sends defensive and offensive weaponry to commit the genocide in Gaza and in Lebanon. There is a proposal by two House members to give over 20,000 American citizens serving in the IDF veterans benefits. Those two come out of our taxpayer money. What is the result of all of this? Well, the New York Times has posted an article today that should be worrying to all of us, and we all feel it. Since Congress let Obamacare subsidies expire, millions are dropping coverage. Millions of Americans appear to be dropping Obamacare coverage in the months since Congress failed to extend the generous subsidies that had become a defining feature of the Affordable Care Act. Initial signups had already fallen by 1.2 million people, but insurance companies, state officials, and industry analysts are reporting that many more have lost Obamacare coverage now that people are facing long-term higher costs. The federal government has yet to report current enrollment data. Many insurers and analysts are estimating overall declines of about 20%, dropping to around 19 million from the 24 million who were covered under the ACA last year. Other indications suggest there could be even larger potential losses by the end of the year, a deep retrenchment for Obamacare coverage and a reversal of significant gains in the last several years. The rising cost of premiums has become a crisis for American families. Over $50 billion have been spent on the Iran war. We don't even know what the per day cost is of the blockade. Regardless of what Donald Trump and Hegseth say, blockading a country is an act of war. So the war is ongoing. There is no such thing as a pause. This is war. And every day, the cost could be about $1 billion a day. So $50 to $60 billion have already been spent on this war. The cost to American citizens, like I said, is very, very real. Gas prices are up by 47% and could hit an average of $5 per gallon across the country. They've already hit $6 in California. But here we are. Donald Trump refuses to accept a proposal that was delivered by Iran yesterday to the Pakistanis. Instead, Trump has decided that he is going to impose more tariffs on EU. He is going to spit in the face of Italy and Spain. He is going to say mean things about Chancellor Merz. He is going to attack his political enemies. He is going to direct all of his agencies to ramp up the deportations of poor people desperate to earn a living and get away from violence and brutality. He is going to make sure that, protections from Haitians fleeing violence is removed. These are the things that are happening in America. These are the priorities. And let us not forget that damn ballroom costing hundreds of millions of dollars. This is how day 60 of this war is coming to a close. If Trump were halfway sane, there would be an announcement of new negotiations and serious diplomats working on negotiations. But no, we have a throwaway comment that he is dissatisfied. Just a throwaway comment that he is dissatisfied with the latest proposal. We don't even know really what's in the proposal. But one thing's for sure, the fact that there is another proposal kind of belies the whole theory of Iran being so fractured, we don't know who to talk to. You know who to talk to. It's exactly the people who showed up in Islamabad to talk to J.D. Vance. The reason that they keep saying they don't know who to talk to is because the Iranians refuse to talk to Witkoff and to Jared Kushner. And sure enough, there is another gigantic article in the New York Times today about how much money Kushner and Witkoff are making off of their so-called diplomacy. Jared Kushner running around the GCC countries looking for money, already has $2 billion from the Saudis. Witkoff and his business interests with the UAE and his son's interests with the UAE and them getting involved in peddling cryptocurrency deals in Pakistan. It is jaw-dropping. The conflict of interests are jaw-dropping. The Saudis are saying that they are now going to pull out of certain deals, like the golf deal that they got involved with Trump. They also stopped funding the Met, and there's going to be more fallout. As the UAE-Saudi tension ramps up, and the UAE and Israel and the US become one bloc, I think Saudi Arabia will start using its financial interests and investments as a weapon. And it's quite possible that they may start to squeeze Jared Kushner, who has $2 billion for his affinity partners, private equity, which has netted him over $100 million in fees, but has gotten the Saudis no return on their investments. Let us just remember that MBS's advisors were saying no to this $2 billion investment in Jared Kushner. MBS pushed it through because he thought this would get them cozier with Trump. But now they see that this whole war with Iran afforded them no protection from the United States. None. And now they're in a situation where the UAE is so embedded with Israel that it actually threatens Saudi interests. So, like I said, we have whole new alliances happening, but the fact that the Trump family and Kushner and Witkoff have so much financial entanglement in the Middle East makes their whole diplomacy really, really dodgy. And everybody has been saying that. Not only does it make it dodgy with huge conflicts of interest, but they have zero experience. So the Iranians have been very clear they will not negotiate with these clowns. But for some reason, Trump needs them at the table. And I would not be surprised if Netanyahu has absolutely told Trump that he needs Kushner at the table. "60 days coming to an end. Tomorrow will be the 61st day. And there is no end in sight to what is clearly a world economy crashing situation.